up, you guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if your name is Tony Buzbee, you tell it JayZ, baby. It's New Year. Say me. Come on, squabble up. Put your hands up. We ain't done. Baby, this ain't a skimmage. I told you we won't stop until we finish. What am I talking about? Tony Buzbee has fired back against JayZ's extortion lawsuit. Now, here's the thing. If you guys don't remember what happened, JayZ first filed for extortion as a John Doe to protect his identity. I'm not going to lie. I was guessing it was Kevin Hart. Nobody thought that it was JayZ being accused of anything, right? Anyway, JayZ sued him, John Doe. Then Tony Buzbee came back. Then Tony Buzbee was like, yo, Sean Carter, you suing me for extortion? Sean Carter's team said, no, sir, we are not. Tony Buzbee said, oh, whatever. Anyway, I'm dropping this lawsuit. Then they came back and said, well, guess what? We suing you for extortion. And Tony Buzbee was like, but I thought you said it wasn't you. And they're like, yeah, it's all fair and love and games, right? So that's actually what happened. Part of the whole point of extortion was to say that they sent a demand letter that was so beyond the pale that that in itself encompassed extortion, and they wanted the case dismissed. Now, the funny thing is, right? Nobody knew what that demand letter looked like. Everybody was like, well, maybe, I don't know. I mean, was it industry standard? There was all these questions. What does the demand letter look like? What does it look like? Well, guess what? Tony Buzbee said, I'll tell you what it looked like. As a matter of fact, why don't I show you? It's easier. Tony Buzbee, right? Tony Buzbee has included the letter he sent to JayZ, right, in a legal filing for everyone to see. They said the lawyer, this is directly from In Touch. He must have planted this article, but who cares because we love the tea. They said the lawyer who JayZ accused of self-extortion has fired back at the mogul's lawsuit in court. According to court documents obtained by In Touch, and you know I'm going to go live to talk about these court documents, Tony Buzbee, who represents several alleged Diddy victims, said although JayZ's lawsuit against him contains numerous sensationalistic and histrionic claims, it fails to state a single viable claim against the Buzbee parties. Tony Buzbee said, baby, I'm going to show you how a motion to dismiss goes. And it goes a 1, a 2, a 3. He is trying to get this dismissed just on GP on the strength that they are failing to make a claim for which relief can be granted. Now, hold on really quick, y'all. Let's get into this. All right, now let's get back into this, right? They said, as previously reported, JayZ, real name Sean Carter, filed a lawsuit against Tony Buzbee on November 18, right? They said, so here's the thing. Buzbee actually gave an actual picture of the demand letter. If I can't have time and if my editing skills permit, I will put the actual thing on the screen. If not, you're going to have to listen to me read it. It says, this is the excerpt from the letter he sent. Damages. Due to the trauma of the assault, Jane Doe has endured intense emotional suffering, plagued by overwhelming anxiety and panic. Depression weighs heavily on her. She avoids many social environments and crowded spaces. Her mental and emotional health has deteriorated such that normal daily functioning is unobtainable. She fears for her life and constantly relives the horror she endured at the hands of you and your associates over the span of years. She will never fully heal from the atrocities she was forced to commit after being rugged and raped by you and Combs. Oh, okay. That's a hell of an opening. It goes on to say, it has been my experience that when someone does this to a victim once, the likelihood is that they have done the same or similar things to others. Again, where's the extortion? This seems pretty run of the mill. Legal title tells way in, but this seems like pretty run of the mill demand letter. I have recommended to Miss Doe that we immediately file suit. And I expect when we do that, other victims will come forward who have been taken advantage of at your hands in the way that Mrs. Doe reports. To her credit, Mrs. Doe has no real interest in causing a public spectacle or filing a public lawsuit, but she will do so. She does, however, want something of substance done about this unacceptable situation and your actions. Again, where is the extortion? Again, if JayZ is innocent, I understand why he is coming lock, stock, and 2 smoking barrels. But if he's not, what you just can't say stuff. Where is the extortion? This is standard. He said, I advise my client to sue. That's what you pay a lawyer to do. They said that she does not want this to be public or become public. Okay. And She wants something of substance. Something of substance can be an apology, it can be an admittance, it can be a public apology, personal apology, it can be a lot of things. He didn't ask for money. He continues, thus Miss Doe hereby demands that within 2 weeks of the date of this letter, your designee contact my office to schedule a confidential mediation. At that mediation, we expect the attendance of you or someone with authority to act on your behalf who can work together with Miss Doe to resolve this delicate and important matter. If my office fails to hear from you or your designee by the close of business on November 19th, we will take a different course. Now, pause. Where's the extortion? It was a letter saying you got until this date to respond. And if you don't respond, you let us know that you are not taking this seriously and we will have to take action further hands. I don't understand. They didn't force you into mediation. You could have contacted them and even inquired about mediation. Instead, you chose to go scorch earth policy. They said, should this demand be reasonably mediated, not be accepted, Miss Doe will have no choice but to file suit in a court of law and I think they meant to say seek all legal remedies available. We will, of course, provide you and your attorney details that identify Miss Doe once we hear from you. I look forward to your prompt response. As always, I remain. And then, it cuts off there. Okay, so let me get this straight. You guys are saying you didn't know who Jane Doe was, right? But Tony Buzbee in his letter said, if you reach out to my office, we will tell you who Jane Doe is. So that means all this hooting and hollering they were doing about, oh my God, JayZ has the right to know his accuser. Who's this accuser? Mofo, you could have just called Tony Buzbee's office and got the name of your accuser, but you chose not to because and again, I got to be fair, you're saying you're 100% innocent. But if you're 100% innocent, then why do you need the name of the accuser? Isn't the best thing to do to sign a sworn affidavit saying, one, you have never been to a Diddy freak off, two, you were not at a Diddy after party at the VMAs in 2000, and three, you were never engaged in sexual conduct with Sean Diddy Combs and an unnamed celebrity female at all during 2000? Wouldn't that be the easiest thing to say? Can you say it? Can you say it? I don't know. I'm genuinely asking. Can you actually say that? Anyway, to go on with this mess, listen, to go on with this mess, they're saying that what y'all think? I want to actually know, are y'all buying this? Are y'all buying this? Because I'm a little confused. I'm really confused. If this is what he is talking about, you got a lot of explaining to actually do. They said initially JayZ used the pseudonym John Doe instead of its real name. In the lawsuit, he accused Tony Buzbee and his law firm of extortion and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Tony has denied all allegations of wrongdoing. Let me tell you something. JayZ's extortion case seems super, super thin. Thinner than that mustache that is above his lip. And I'm not even trying to be funny. What in the world? Is this what you are calling extortion? Getting a letter saying we are suing you is intentional infliction of emotional distress. Now you get emotional distress if anybody sues you. The suit accused Tony and his firm of shamelessly extort exorbitant sums from him or else publicly file wildly false, horrific allegations against him. Again, where did it say that in their letter? Is there some type of secret letter? Do y'all have secret communications? Where in that letter does it say this? See, here's the thing. I honestly don't know if JayZ is guilty or innocent. I waffle back and forth every single day because unlike Diddy, where there's 11 people accusing him, this is the only person that's actually accused JayZ of wrongdoing. The only credible person, right? Am I credible? I mean, you have gone to the feds, you've gone to the police, you've gone on record in a court documents, right? The thing is, he never, but, and even if you're innocent, you just can't say shit in a court of law. You just can't accuse people doing stuff for a soundbite and it was never actually there. Where did they try to get exorbitant sums of money or else publicly file wildly false, horrific allegations? She said she wanted something of substance. That could be a letter, that could be an apology. That could be anything. And if you wanted her name again, you could have contacted them. And you could have even contacted them to be like, yo, what is going on? I am innocent. You refused to even engage and did the scorched earth. They said defendants have threatened to unleash entirely fabricated and malicious allegations of sexual assault, including multiple instances of rape of a minor, both male and female, against JayZ if he refuses to comply with their demands. Where did that say that in the letter? Where did that say that in the letter? I am very confused right now. What is going on? Oh, God, this ain't looking good for JayZ. Listen, this is ridiculous. They said the baseless accusations are nothing more than a weapon in a calculated plot to destroy plaintiff's high profile reputation for profit, despite the complete absence of any factual basis or claims. Yo, where y'all at with this? Listen, he's saying JayZ's case is nothing more than a public relations gambit designed to distract the media and public from serious allegations of sexual assault and rape that have been made against Sean Carter in a separate legal action. Tony Buzbee went on to say, Sean Carter does not and cannot point to any actual wrongdoing by the Buzbee parties whatsoever. Sean Carter claims the civil extortion, defamation, and intentional infliction of emotional distress are based on generalized public statements that do not even reference him, an entirely standard issue, pre-litigation communications. He said several of his clients identified JayZ as an accomplice of Diddy and a proprietor of sexual violence against them. Tony said all the letters he sent to JayZ's team were part of a common litigation practice. Carter's attempts to argue that the Buzbee parties threatened to publicly accuse him of a crime or expose or impute to him a disgrace or a crime unless he paid money to settle the threatened lawsuit. But his allegations failed for multiple reasons. Oh my God. They said, again, where are y'all at with this? I just gotta say this. If this is the best JayZ has, yeah, the first lawsuit that's going to be dismissed is his extortion lawsuit. And it does seem like they really did try to bully Buzbee out of the legal spectrum. Now, here's the thing. Whether or not JayZ is innocent does not mean that he can file baseless lawsuits. Because right now, his extortion claim is looking super shady. And it looks like you are guilty of what you accuse Tony Buzbee of doing, which is trying to intimidate people. Anyway, y'all, let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm going to get these documents and go live later. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Hey, also really quick, you guys, if you, or this is actually really serious, you guys realize that as of February 28th, 2025, the Gender Motivated Violence Act expires. If you guys don't know what that is the act that everybody is using to sue Diddy and whoever. It doesn't matter whether they are famous, whether it's your boss, whether it's a neighbor you want justice from. Make sure you call Tyrone Blackburn, Douglas Wigdor, any lawyer for that fact, and actually get some justice. You have until February 28th, 2025 to file paperwork.